What is up? Coming back to you. An update from the Guns Out challenge. Just got back from jiu-jitsu. Had to get the gi back on. Had to get back to the mats. Had to do it. I was working this job. Things were going great. Had a great team. Had a manager that supported me. Had a manager that supported my personal life. Had a manager that was amazing and said, all my employees need to have a little bit of personal time. And when they have their time off, they need to have a home life and a work life. Well, guess what? Someone came in, got a promotion, and decided to change the game plan how our store ran. So needless to say, one by one, this guy was a tyrant. He really didn't give a shit about your home life. He gave a shit about his numbers and how he looked. What's up, Gibson? So, with that being said, when you live with people that like to take, they take and take and take. They take away from you. They take away from the people that you love, and animals too. And they take and take and take. Are you a giver or are you a taker? What exactly are you? Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever thought about that seriously? Just a thought. You know, we don't have to get into a discussion about it. But what I'm trying to get at is that you have to be able to separate your work life and your personal life. And what I mean by that is that there are micro adjustments throughout our day that we need to make, especially if you're working a 9 to 5 in a cubicle, in an office, at a call center, at a retail store, at a fast food restaurant. How hard is it gonna be for you to make these micro adjustments? Eating the right things, finding time for exercise, finding time to take that deep breath. We have to take the time. So this manager ripped this jiu-jitsu away from me. He started scheduling me on the days that he knew I wanted to go. Started scheduling me on the hours that my class was, because I told him I need to be off by 6 so I could get there by 7. I need to be off by 5 so I can make it there by 5:30. Yes, I would be cutting it short. But I would do it because I was disciplined. I disciplined myself because it was something that I needed. So needless to say, this guy took this from me. Took that time from me. And I'm not the only person that was affected by that. And it still bugs me because I'm still not the only person affected by a taker. We're all affected by takers. And I guess you're wondering right now around this point, when we hit that 3-minute mark, all right, Tom, I've heard you for about 3 minutes now. What's the point? What does jiu-jitsu have anything to do with this? What does personal time and the work-life management have anything to do with this? It has everything to do with this, because everything is relevant. Everything is relevant. Are you a giver or are you a taker? That's relevant. Do you know the answer to that question? That is relevant before I continue. Because if you are a taker, then you are taking from the people around you. You are taking from the people around you for yourself. And you feel like you are filling a void. You feel like, oh no, I need that time instead. No, I need cigarettes instead. No, I'll go to McDonald's instead. I would rather have this money so I can do that. I would rather this so I can that. Maybe I can this so I can that. How many times do you think that to yourselves? So I can that. There's a thought. And if you're a giver, keep doing what you're doing. But there are some golden-hearted, frustrated givers out there that are still caught up in that norm. Caught up in eating those natural ingredients, natural flavors. Just because it says it's natural doesn't mean that it's natural for you. What? That's a serious thing. Because 2016, my blood test yielded that my liver had been developing high levels of bilirubin, almost double the waste that it should be. Bilirubin is waste produced by your liver. Needless to say, I was highly acidic. My blood was acidic. I was inflamed. And I was struggling. And it didn't even feel like I was struggling. That's the crazy part about it. You can survive off of this shit. Isn't that fucking crazy? That we can survive off of eating shit. It's absolute toxic waste. It is refined garbage that we're eating. They could make this rook taste good just by looking at this. If you didn't know it was a chess piece, if I told you it was edible, what flavor would it be? You would judge that based off of how it looked. What flavor would this be? You would judge it based off of how it looked. Yeah, I'm sure you've seen a chocolate chess piece before. Doesn't that fucking bother you? They make it look like a cheeseburger. Is it a cheeseburger? Oh, they did the test. I saw the documentary with the eating size me. Yeah, okay, great. We saw how bad that shit was for you, but why are you still eating it? When you eat that, you take. When you go to the fast food menu and you blow $20 on your 3 kids to get them Happy Meals just so they could get the toy and shut up, you're not giving them anything. You're taking away from them. You're taking away from those kids' livelihood. Because they're going to develop problems learning in school. Because they're going to be addicted to sugar. And they're not going to know what the hell's wrong, so they're going to listen to their parents. And you don't even know what the hell is wrong because you're feeding them McDonald's. You're bringing them to the doctor. You're bringing them to a psychiatrist, a behavioral an analyst. And they're getting prescribed Ritalin, Adderall. Those kids are little tiny people. They're little tiny people. Okay? If you smoke cigarettes, you are living fucking testimony as to the miracles of how the human body can correct for human error. So if you smoke cigarettes, or if you drink booze, or if you've ever done it, you are living proof that the human body can correct for some of the most asinine human error, which is to eat toxic garbage and to live off of waste. Why? Because we are trying to conserve what? What are we trying to conserve? It doesn't make sense. A great man once said, save the trees, save the bees, save the whales, save those snails. For what? What the hell are you, any amount of money, any amount of contribution gonna do to save this? Huh? You wanna go up there and try to save that? Guess what? NASA can't even fly to the frickin' thing. What are you gonna do for it? You think that just because we can go and assist and we have all this technology that we need to go and meddle and put our hand in that business? No, man. No. We're working the wrong cogwheels, people. Oh. Our kids are the leaders of tomorrow. And we're feeding them toxic sludge. Because a small amount of people are trying to preserve themselves for what? For catastrophic freaking mayhem. They're like the end of days. What matters is now. What's relevant is now. And everything is relevant. Yeah, McDonald's, the fact that you eat it, relevant. The fact that you buy cigarettes, relevant. Oh, it's just a little... No. It's relevant. We are all directly contributing to a giant monster. We are all plugged into this big generator, and this generator is just generating toxic waste right back to us. And we get nothing in return. Nothing. Minimal wages, shit fucking livelihood, crap rent, places to live, whatever your freaking situation is. It's all a direct factor, and it's all relevant. And it boils down to one thing. One thing. If we were to rob a bank and I were to tell you I have the absolute most genius plan. I told you I have the escape planned. I have the rest of our lives planned. It'll be you and me. All your dreams will be met. Whatever lobster you want to eat, whatever yacht you want to sail, whatever island you want to own, we'll have the money for it because we're going to go rob the biggest bank ever. And we'll never get caught. And I know exactly how to do it, and I know right where the sweet spot is. If I were to guarantee you something like that on paper and show you documentation with passports and all the itemized legal documents that you would need to protect yourself in a situation like that, and hand you the keys to the Porsche, as one might say, would you take those keys? Because from an outside perspective, I've identified that bank and we can all cash in. No, it's not. It's not George Washington bills. It's value, and it's worth much, much, much more than that. Much, much more than that. We're over 10 minutes now, so if you're still listening to this, I'm just going to flat out tell you. Sugar. Fucking sugar. Sugar is a direct contributor to obesity, child obesity, diabetes. It promotes abnormal cell growth within the body. It's cancerous, and there's ways to fight it, and we're being lied to every single day of our lives. We're seeing people wearing bandanas and wristbands, and they're fighting chemo, and they all have high hopes. They all go to church on Sundays. They're all good people, but they eat McDonald's because it's cheap. Got the medical bills. Thank God we have insurance, right? Oh, man. I haven't had insurance in 10 years by choice. I haven't seen a doctor. I just have to get blood checked. Haven't gotten sick. Anytime I had an upper respiratory infection, it was unfortunately because I lived in an apartment that had black mold. Nothing that I contributed to. You just had to fight it off. It's pretty amazing, though. Black mold will kill you. I'm still here. Worst thing that happened to me, a couple of days coughing up some yellow phlegm. And I did it all with a half-ass working liver. If at this point, if you're still watching, I've got your interest. And all I have to say is that the start for you and me, so that we could get this going, and that we can start returning the value to your life. You can find me at neverbenormal.net. You can subscribe to this YouTube channel. You can find me on Facebook and like me there. And just follow me. Listen. Because I will guide you. I will provide you with the guidance that you need to live this difference. Get your value back. Get your life back on track. No matter what age you are. Your little brother going to school. Your parents.